One of the things that I actually want to talk about today, and it's an interesting story I sent out to everybody here in the group, is I live on a river here in Tampa called the Hillsborough River, and every morning I get up, make my coffee, and me and my dog, we walk down to the river. And it's kind of interesting that this particular morning, it was a couple days ago, and I was sitting there meditating, and I like to soak in the sun and just kind of breathe really deeply, and it just really relaxes me and gets me ready for the day. Well, this day, a dragonfly flew up and landed on a chair across from me. And then, not in the sense that I was like, dragonfly, transformation, just thought in my head. But then a second one flew up and landed right next to it on the ledge next to it. I was like, well, that's really cool. And I, just didn't think anything of it. And then I felt like, get still, Jeremy, get really quiet. And so I started to get quiet and started to really enjoy the moment of being still. And Max had gotten up, my dog, and he started chasing a rabbit, and I yelled, Max! And then all of a sudden, that dragonfly flew and landed on my knee. And I felt the sensation of get really still again. So I started to get quiet, and then the dragonfly flew off and landed on the chair on the opposite side of me. And so I looked at that dragonfly, and I felt like it was actually looking at me. And I took a second, and I got really, really quiet, and eventually Max ended up laying down next to me again. And I laid there, I sat there and meditated for about 15 minutes. And about towards the end, when I realized it's time for me to go and go back up to the house, the one dragonfly flew up again and landed on the same chair that it sat on before. And I felt this sensation and this feeling inside of myself get ready for the transformation. Now, what's the point of this story? It was a very magical moment for me. And it wasn't about the dragonflies, it wasn't about anything else, it was about the space that was happening of peace and contentment, of when I just relaxed and paid attention to something so simple as a dragonfly. And I wasn't worried about where my dog was. I'm not worried about that we're by the river and there's an alligator that might eat him, or that him running around chasing rabbits and all that kind of stuff, and all that mind chatter that goes on inside of me. I was just focused on this pure moment when this piece of nature was right there with me, looking at me. Now we could go into all the metaphysical aspects of how magical and how beautiful that was, but that's the least important part about it. The magical part was the moment of stillness, the quiet, so I could actually enjoy this moment, the gratitude that came from that. And so then later on that day, I went to go brush my teeth in the bathroom, and I'm sitting there brushing my teeth, and I realized a belief system that I'd held on to for a very long time, it just released, and I felt a shift inside of me of tension leave my body. And it was about my belief system about past lives and all that kind of stuff, and in a regression that I'd had many, many years ago. And so whether that was true or not, the reality is that none of this is a reality. We are in an intangible universe, a universe that is an illusion. So what I mean by intangible is that we're looking for stuff that we can grab onto that is factual, that we can observe with these two eyes and these senses to say that that is right. And what we're missing is this. Because we're looking for what we can make as right, we're missing all those magical moments that are going on in the world. Like right now, we're sitting here filming in a park in Florida, and there's children playing around us, people walking around a track, exercising. They're paying attention to their body, and they're grateful for their body because they're taking the time to do something with it. And so they are experiencing something because they keep on doing it over and over and over again. We do these videos because we experience something when we're doing it over and over and over again. So you don't want to miss the opportunity of the moment. So what I was talking about in the last segment is being in this moment, and I want to continue on with that because here's what the really interesting part about it is. So then I'm driving into work, and I grab my friend's CD, her SoundCloud CD. Her name is Julie Rust, and she lives up in Nashville. Plug for her. But here's the cool thing about this, as I'm listening to her, and she's talking about a story where her and her family lost their house, they lost their beds, their clothes, everything. And she told me the actual full story about it, but I don't remember all of it. But the sensation I got of this feeling of loss for her. And then she realized one thing, was that they were taken care of. Everything was fine. Even in those moments where she didn't think things were going to be fine, they were okay. But what it taught her is that when she did get a place where she was not homeless, she realized that the sheets on her bed and the pillows on her bed and the blankets and everything else, she was grateful for that. And I was like, whoa, big aha moment here. Because what the gratefulness is all about is this. The gratefulness is about being in the moment. But here's the key thing here, guys. What we're missing here is that when we're not grateful for what we have here now, then we're not living in the joys of the moment. And the magic happens right now, right here, right in this moment. So what you want to do is appreciate everything you have right now. So if your mind is thinking about, I have this car and you want this one, then you're not living in the moment. If your mind is thinking, I don't have a relationship right now, the one I want, then this is what I want, and you're still thinking of the future or what you had before, then you're not appreciating this moment and you're missing life. And so I could go into all the physical, scientific aspects of what it does to your body. I could go into all the metaphysical aspects of past life regressions and the reason why it happened. We could spend years trying to figure out, why is it I'm a victim in this moment? But the more you spend looking for why you're a victim, the more you're not fixing it now. So how do you fix it right now? Well, you have to change your thoughts. And one of the things you can change your thought is every time you say can't, and by the way, I was thinking about this when I was listening to Julie's SoundClouds as well, you change that to won't. So if you say I can't go exercise, change it to won't, because that's really what you're saying. I can't go exercise, which means I won't go exercise. Well, it's hard. And if you change the whole thing, well, I should go exercise, because should is telling you what you should do and you're actually judging yourself, why don't you just take some time for you and your body to spend time with yourself? Maybe it could just be getting up and taking a walk around your neighborhood. Maybe it could just be spending some time with your family. Maybe it could be just taking a bath and enjoying candlelight and everything else. Maybe it could be all that stuff. And so what you're missing is everything that's going on here. So one of the things that our group wants to do is we want to travel. So we're making short trips out and traveling, even if it's here to a park, 10 miles away from the house. And that is traveling. So if we're constantly thinking about what do we want to do in the future, we're not enjoying this moment of this beautiful park with the sunset happening in the background, the sun here, and all the stuff, the trees, and everything is beautiful, and I can hear a train off in the background. We're missing all of that. And if you get really quiet, there's birds flying that just flew by, and you're missing everything. There's a car going behind me. All that, what we call white noise, is a piece of the moment. And you're looking at all of it as an annoyance. The consistent message right now is from, whatever you want to call it, spirit, consciousness, God. We get hung up on those words. And honestly, really, the whole story here about dragonflies and all that kind of stuff, you could say that was God. And that was the experience of God. So, but really, isn't it all about just being in your heart and being true to yourself? I've always heard that phrase all my life. Just be true to yourself. And so, but most people, how serious do they take that? When they're lying to people to make them like them. When they're wearing clothes to get accepted, when they're wanting to have enough money to keep up with the Joneses, when they're trying to have things outside of themselves to make them happy. How true are they being to themselves? Honestly, I was like that. And I know I wasn't very true to myself. I know what I experienced now, looking back inside of myself. And so, we're so busy trying to plan everything. We're so busy trying to keep everything consistent, to make it a way so it works out correctly. Well, what the hell is correct? We got these ideals of what is right and wrong, but why can't we just enjoy ourselves? We had a plan today to go down to a beach and experience that, and it rained. I got tired. I had to take a nap, all that other kind of stuff. These guys that are doing the filming, that are standing behind the camera, behind the microphone, and doing all that kind of stuff, they were ready hours before I was. And it just happened that when I did a radio show this morning, I had lunch with the guest, and I came and I got tired and I rested, and then we drove, and the park that we wanted to go to was closed down, and we found this place. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely incredible. And so, guys, I'm gonna ask Julian to actually take some shots of this for the video so you can see it. It's incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. Because this is the magic. This is the magic all you guys are waiting for. These are the stuff that you're all looking for. So while you're all watching it on your movies and on your TV sets and your big 52-inch screen TVs that you bought, you paid on your credit card that you're still paying off for, you're about ready to file bankruptcy on, the magic's not happening there. The magic, and I'm not judging it, I'm just saying the magic is happening right here. We got a microphone. We're enjoying ourselves. We're having a good time. We're bickering a little bit. We're having fun. We're being boys. And so, but there's one profound thing I heard recently. Stop trying to be healthy all the time, because when you're unhealthy, it's telling you when you're not on path. And when you are healthy, it's telling you that you are on path, that you're happy, not happy. And those moments of when the pendulum swings this way and you're out of balance, those are the opportunities to learn something. So you're busy trying not to have the pendulum swing, and you're busy trying to control everything, and you're missing all the stuff that's happening in between. Shut up. Listen, just for a second. Take a moment where you're at watching this video. You're sitting on your computer looking at this YouTube video. Why don't you just take a second just to shut up? Pause me. Don't even listen to me. As a matter of fact, don't even listen to finish watching the video. But I know you will, because you're so caught up in what I'm saying right now, what I'm saying, instead of what's happening inside of you right now. And you're missing that relationship to yourself. You're missing everything that's going on inside of you because you're so busy and caught up on what's going on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm just as guilty at times, but you're missing the opportunity of yourself, and that is everything. Because there is a spirit inside of you, a seed inside of you, a spark inside of you, that if you just develop it, if you just nourish it, it's desperate for you to open up, and what happens is this freedom, awakening sensation inside of you that is orgasmic. So you're all busy trying to have orgasms, but this thing is more profound than you can ever imagine, and it's called waking up. It's called finally ending all the pain inside of you. It's called enlightenment. And you're probably sitting on that saying, oh, who does he think he says being enlightenment? Because I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at. And I want you to be here with me.